Well, taking a quick stock of how global markets are shaping up this Monday morning, as well as how US markets as well as European markets ended on Friday. All US indices on Friday closed lower on the back of renewed COVID concerns. Of course, it was a truncated week of trade. Thursday was Thanksgiving, as well as Friday. Markets closed at 1 p.m. US time, but the new COVID variant is what is really causing the concern, with WHO calling it Omicron, and it is clearly a concern. Though now fresh information coming in that the COVID vaccine may be more effective than expected against this new variant. The S&P though was down 2.3% in trade on Friday. The Dow tumbled 900 points, clocking its worst day of trade of 2021, down over 2.5% in trade, and the Nasdaq too was down around 2.2% in trade. The Dow futures though have opened Monday higher after Friday's sell-off, as investors continue to monitor the new variant and the fact that the COVID vaccine is more effective than earlier anticipated has kind of unwound some of those losses on Friday. European indices too closed lower on Friday. In fact, European indices were the hardest hit, down over 3.5% each. The DAX was down over 4% and the CAC 40 was down over 4.5% in trade on Friday. Asian indices though were also in the negative on Friday and have started negative even today early morning. Asian stocks have started the week in the red. The Nikkei is down almost 1% as we speak, and the SGX Nifty futures is absolutely flat, down around 10 basis points. Gold had of course jumped over the $1,800 an ounce mark on the virus fears. However, that has tapered down a bit. It's cooled off to around 1792 an ounce in early trade today. Oil clocked its worst day of 2021 over the weekend, was down over 12 to 13%, was below the $70 a barrel mark, and now has climbed back up to $71.2 or so. Mind you, there's an OPEC meeting on the 2nd of December to decide on output, and that may weigh in on how oil prices shape up over the next few days. The dollar index, which had fallen below the 96 mark, has now recovered and is at the 96.2 mark. Treasuries also sank amidst COVID concerns, and the 10-year yield was well below the 1.5% mark, but that has made a swift recovery. It is around the 1.53 to 1.54% mark now as we speak. And Bitcoin, which was also lower, it was at the 55,000 or even lower than the $55,000 mark, is now closing in on that $58,000 mark. Of course, there were initial concerns at the end of last week as to how the new variant will shape global markets. However, that has kind of tapered off over the weekend, and with new information coming through that the vaccine may be effective, that is kind of slowly unwinding. The impact of it is slowly unwinding across asset classes, from treasuries to markets to even oil and gold. All of that is unwinding as we start Monday.